Welcome to another episode of Build Smart with AI. In this session, we'll create a small, simple website for our fictional company, D4U. By the end of the episode, we'll build and deploy the site and gather feedback from our business user for future improvements. Let's start by defining the scope of our project. Our business users want a simple website to promote the company's products while keeping costs as low as possible. To achieve this, we'll use publicly available, free, or low-cost tools. We're assuming you don't have coding experience, so we'll build the site with the help of AI. We'll begin with a set of documents. Since our company is fictional, we've already generated these documents using Microsoft Copilot in the Bing portal. At the end of this session, we'll share the original materials and the prompts we used so you can recreate the same website and customize it to fit your needs. Now, what do we need from our business users to build the website? Product descriptions with technical specifications, preferably in Word files since most users like working in word processors. High-quality product images from a photographer. Company background for the About page and policy details for the policy page. What else? We'll need a logo, any design templates in electronic format, and a recorded interview with the business user to understand how the website should help them. Now, let's open Visual Studio Code. It's a free cross-platform tool that you can install on both Windows and Mac OS. However, Visual Studio Code cannot open Word files directly. To work with your document, it's best to convert it into Markdown format. Markdown is simple to read and write, and it supports basic text styling as well as images, making it ideal for documentation. Next, install the GitHub Copilot extension. We assume you already have a GitHub account. A free account is sufficient to access free models like GPT-4. If you don't have the extension yet, install it now. If you already have it, make sure it's updated to the latest version. Once the extension is installed, open the GitHub Copilot chat panel and start with a simple greeting like, "Hello." You'll receive a response from your AI assistant. This chat interface will be used throughout the session to communicate with Copilot. Now it's time to ask Copilot to help us convert all documents into Markdown format. Copilot will generate a Python script for this task. This script is useful because you can reuse it later whenever a business user provides new materials. I'm not very familiar with Python code, but Copilot assists us in running the script directly in the console below. Brilliant! The conversion is now in progress. Let's review the newly created Markdown files and see how they look in formatted text. After reviewing a few documents, we notice they all have different formats. To keep things consistent, we'll convert them to a standard structure. Here's the format we'll use. Name, description, then core features, instead of why you love it. After that, we'll keep key features, technical specifications, and finish with a quick start guide. Now, let's ask Copilot to handle this conversion for us. We'll wait a moment while Copilot updates the files. You'll see changes happening in real time. Green highlights show what Copilot added, and red highlights show what was removed. Take a look at a few documents and click Keep if you're happy with the results. Everything seems good so far. Time to move on to the next step. Where will we host our website and what platform should we use? There are plenty of options. C#, Python, JavaScript, even React could work. After asking Copilot for recommendations, we decided on Python with the Flask framework. It's simple and easy to host on a Linux virtual machine. Since the business wants to minimize costs and leverage free services for our prototype, we'll use Azure, which offers free website hosting. The hosting is limited to a few hours per day, but that's enough for testing our proof of concept. Of course, we'll continue using Visual Studio Code and Copilot on the free tier. In the next part, we'll start building the prototype for our website. We'll focus on the header and navigation menu first. Then we'll add a main page called Index, where all products will be displayed, along with additional pages for company information and policies. Since all documents have already been converted to Markdown, we can now attach them to the website. Now, let's ask Copilot to create a Flask website in the web folder. As you can see, Copilot generates an apod.py file with instructions to load the index.html page from that folder. Let's copy the command into the terminal below, run it, and see how it works. We'll open the site in the browser. This is our first version of the website, but as expected, it doesn't have our assets yet. Now we've prepared the images folder with all the visuals we need for our index page. Next, let's ask Copilot to build the index page for us, including a list of drones and descriptions with specific sizes and positions for the elements on the screen. Remember, the more detailed your description, the better the result. Now, let's run the website and see what Copilot generates. The page looks good, but we can make it even better by providing Copilot with a sketch of the index page. Here's the layout we want: the logo at the top, followed by the title, then the menu, and finally the list of products on the page. I'll create another prompt with detailed instructions to explain exactly what we want. This technique is called grounding, giving Copilot clear context and specifics to improve accuracy. To speed up page generation, we'll also update file references using the hashtag symbol in the prompt. After a few fine-tuning prompts, we've got a result that's very close to our sketch. The menu and drone information look just as we requested. We haven't created the About and Policy pages yet. Next, we'll describe this task for Copilot so it can assist us. We'll also apply some fine-tuning to polish the overall look of our pages. Now it's time to convert those Markdown files into HTML with proper names and ensure they load when users click the menu. As you can see, everything now appears consistent with the index page. Let's recap what we've built so far for our website. We have all the product documentation and images ready. We've created a template with a header and navigation menu. The main page lists all our drones, and we've added policy and about pages. So, what's next? We need to build a product catalog based on the requirements. The main page is already in place, but now we'll create a template for each drone's detail page. Then, we'll link every drone on the main page to its detailed page, complete with descriptions and images. Let's continue with GitHub Copilot to make this happen. First, let's review what we already have. A main page displaying the list of drones, an About page with company information, and a policy page as well. All menu links are working, and the corresponding items are highlighted correctly. However, clicking on a drone to view more details doesn't work yet. Our next step is to implement a detail page that shows all the information about a selected drone. We've prepared a design sketch for this detailed page. It follows the same style as the main page and uses the same header design as the About and Policy pages. Now, let's provide Copilot with a prompt to build this page based on the design sketch. For better results, we'll replace file names with exact references using the sharp symbol. This step may take a little longer because Copilot needs to analyze the design sketch, review the existing pages, and synchronize everything. We'll start with the Adventure View drone and also request Copilot to export all styles into a single style file so we can reuse them across other pages. Copilot has generated the style file and the drone description page, and they look good so far, but we cannot test it unless we run the project. Unfortunately, the links from the main catalog page are not updated yet, so click on the drone to get details does not work. Our next Copilot prompt should fix this link issue. Let's check what Copilot delivered. It's functional, but not ideal. The page is currently hard-coded in the HTML. In the next iteration, we'll improve this by adding the drone details to the JSON file so the content loads dynamically. Now let's verify if the link works. Click on Adventure View in the catalog page, and the drone details should appear on the screen. The page content looks relevant, and the design is close to the original sketch. The next challenge for Copilot is converting all documents into pages, just like we did for the Adventure View drone. To avoid ambiguity in prompts, always reference the exact document names. While Copilot is converting pages from the Documents folder, let's review what's already built. Recently updated documents will be marked with a dot inside a square icon next to the file name. Copilot has finished its work and modified about 10 pages. Now, let's run the project and check the changes. The main page looks good, and the menu links to About are working properly. The Adventure View mini drone displays its details. The same goes for Adventure View Pro and AgroVision Pro drones. Thanks to Copilot, our catalog is now complete, and we're ready to deploy the project in Azure. Now we're moving into the final stage, deploying our website to the testing environment. Since our business users requested it, we need to provide a testing environment before the site goes live. The general approach is to create an Azure subscription. To minimize cost, we'll use the free tier for hosting our website. We'll use a script to provision resources in Azure. This allows us to automate the process later and integrate with DevOps services, such as GitHub. Our deployment will also be automated, using the zip deploy method. We're also embracing DevOps practices by creating a feedback form for our business users. This will help us collect change requests and improve the solution. All right, let's get started. Let's take a look at the deployment process using this diagram. We start with our code on the laptop. The next step is to provision a web server in Azure, and we'll do that with the help of GitHub Copilot. We'll ask Copilot to generate a script to create all the required resources and convert them in Bicep template later. If we decide to add a database for storing orders, we can simply update that template and automate the entire provisioning process. Once the resources are provisioned, we can move on to deploy our application. We'll ask GitHub Copilot to create a deployment script for us. To begin, we'll keep things simple. Create a zip archive with the binaries and upload it to the server. Later, we can fold this process into full GitHub automation. The final step is to send a request to the website's main page and confirm that it successfully returns the drone catalog. Before we start prompting Copilot to generate any scripts, let's review the prerequisites. First, you need an active Azure subscription. You can start with a free trial or a pay-as-you-go account. Since we're using a free web app tier for testing, the cost should remain minimal. Next, make sure the Azure CLI is installed on your laptop. You can ask Copilot for installation help or download it yourself. After installation, run the as version command to make sure you're on at least version 2.70, just like I am. And finally, don't forget a very important step. Run as login to sign in with your Azure account. Now let's use our prompt to generate the deployment commands. We can start a script file to collect all the commands we'll need for deployment. Copilot generates 3 main commands. The first command creates our resource group. Let's add it to the script. As we requested in the prompt, it creates a group named D4U in the Canada region. The second command creates the app service plan, and we're using the free tier, just like we asked. The third command creates the web app itself. Here we need to update the runtime to a better version of Python. Python 3.11 works great for hosting our website. Now let's copy the commands and run them in the terminal. In the next version, when we automate the entire deployment, we'll switch from script-based commands to full template-based provisioning. While the script is running, let's update our deployment script and add a section that creates a zip archive and deploys it to the website. Every time you type, Copilot tries to suggest the rest of the command. That's completion mode. The suggestions appear in italic, and you can accept them or ignore them and keep typing. Now the provisioning is complete. So let's check what the script created for us in Azure. We'll switch to the Azure portal and search for the D4U resource group. Inside, we can see our web app and confirm it's running on the free tier. Now let's open the website by clicking the Browse button. The default Python landing page loads successfully. Our web host is ready, and the next step is to deploy our actual code to this website. Now we can deploy our code using zip deploy to our website in Azure. First, let's zip up the project files. I realized I don't have the zip command installed on my laptop, so I asked Copilot to help. Copilot automatically replaced the command with compress archive, which works perfectly. Once the package is ready, we'll upload it using the next command. Again, we'll use the Azure CLI to deploy the zip package with the AZ web app deploy command. In the next version of this project, we can streamline everything by using GitHub to deploy the code directly to the Azure website. Now that deployment is complete, let's check the site. The site is running in Azure, and we can copy the URL and share it with our business users. The drone details pages work, and the About page looks good as well. Let's wrap up this project by adding one more feature, a place for users to leave feedback. Since we don't have a Copilot for Microsoft Office license, which would normally help us build forms, we asked GitHub Copilot to create a template of possible survey questions instead. We requested a professional tone, included an overall rating question, several like, neutral/dislike feature-based questions, and an open text field for additional improvement requests. We also asked Copilot to deliver the output in Markdown. Let's take a look at what Copilot generated. The quality of the questions is acceptable, and we can fine-tune them later when building the survey. Now we're opening Microsoft Forms, where you can create surveys for free and collect responses. We'll start a new custom form and update the header. Next, we add the first question. This is Copilot's recommended overall satisfaction rating. The following questions contain a list of website features where users can select like, neutral, or dislike. We include all features except support, since that part of the site isn't implemented yet. The last question will be an open text field for suggestions. Now we apply a style to our survey and preview the final result. Let's fill it out to confirm everything works as expected. Great! Our response was collected, and we can now view the results. The final step is to grab the sharing link and send it to our business users. This is how the survey will look for them. Conclusion. We successfully completed the first version of our website, built entirely from scratch. With the help of Copilot, we created a full drone catalog for our company, developed detailed pages for each drone, and added both the About page and the Policy page. We provided several sketches for the website layout, and after a few iterations, we arrived at a design that meets our needs. Copilot also helped us publish the website to Azure, where we're currently hosting the test version on the free tier. We prepared a feedback form, and we're now ready to present our work to our business users. In the next series, we'll continue using Copilot to generate new ideas and further improve the website. Thank you for watching. Please like this video to see more Copilot-related content. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss the next release.